I don't want to brag, but I get a lot of comments on my work saying that I really understand colour theory and I understand light. And it's kind of true, and I don't brag about many things, but that one is for sure. Learning about these two things really changed the game for my art, and I have other videos on this channel that deep dive into colour theory that I'll link, but this one is going to follow exactly what I do when creating a piece. So firstly, we all know this, do not start on a plain white background. You have to paint your canvas before you start. If you start on a bright white canvas, you are literally painting onto the brightest colour that there is, and your eye will find it so much harder to discern between highlights and shadows. And so I'd really suggest start with a mid-tone. I've gone with a complementary blue for this piece, but I've done backgrounds in every colour that there is basically for my paintings, and you can go with complementary. I was painting blue because I was painting water, but I've also painted water and done an orange background as like a contrasting colour. This also means that you don't have those ugly white bright marks shining through when you've got little gaps between your brush strokes. And it just makes it look so much more professional, and this is really easy first step. Next, and this one is so crucial, I cannot stress it enough, do not pre-mix your colours and do not use colour straight from the tube. I've had artists ask if I pre-mix my colours before starting, and honestly, no. Every single brushstroke you'll see throughout this video, I mix by eye. So I look at where that brushstroke is going to be placed, mix the exact colour that I want, and then place it on my canvas. And I find that if you had, I've never even pre-mixed paint before, but I just feel like I just can't do it. I have to think about every single brushstroke, and I think this is the secret, to be honest. It's like that quote, don't think about building the most perfect, huge, biggest wall. Think about laying every single brick perfectly. That is definitely not how the quote goes, but you know what I mean. Now, every brushstroke that I do isn't perfect, and sometimes I have to go back over them, but I promise if you follow this approach, then your painting will be so much better. Then the last thing that I want to say is that understanding colour is also about understanding colour next to colour, and this is where light and shadow comes in. So I used to say 4 words in my head that an art teacher told me, and now I don't really need to do it because it just comes naturally, but that is lighter, darker, warmer and cooler. So look at your brushstroke that you have just laid and think about the colour that you want to put next to it. Is that colour from your reference, is it lighter or darker? So do you need to add a little more yellow perhaps, or white if it's lighter, or if it's darker, does it need a bit of umber or a bit of blue? And if it's warmer or cooler, so if it's cooler, put a little bit more blue, or if it's warmer, a little yellow or red. And honestly, this is how you understand light and shadow and colour all at the same time. And I promise if you follow these steps in your next painting, you will be shocked at the results that you get. This is my finished piece and I was actually so thrilled. I haven't painted water in forever and I loved it.